Hi, everyone. Welcome to Marianne's Mystic Mentions. I'm Marianne. It's beautiful to be here with you. Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate you so much. I am going to be reading for all of these signs, the general readings for the month of November. And today specifically will be the reading for all beautiful water elements that are Cancer. I was like, wait a minute, pausing. Wait a minute, no. I'll be reading for all the Cancers, and you are water elements, and that's pretty special for you, Cancers, because we are in the season of Scorpio, and that is your fellow water sign, as is Pisces. And it's usually a very, very comfortable time. I feel like there's definitely a lot of emotion, and I will say that water signs, out of all the elements, which are water, fire, earth, and air, I would agree fully that you have a lot of emotion connected to who you are inside and out. You have great sensitivity. You are very, very psychic a lot of times. You are very in tune with certainly the rhythms of life, the tides, the moods, if you will. A lot of times people find and have said that water signs are moody. Well, they take on and feel a lot of things, this is just what happens. I think it's a gift. Sometimes it doesn't feel like a gift, but you are actually ruled by the moon, Cancer. So you definitely, out of all signs, even water signs, are more in tune, like I said, with the natural rhythms and the tides that the moon actually controls. And that's the thing about everything about astrology, or, the mystical aspects of life that I'm so incredibly drawn to, are the simple fact that they are very much present, but often not seen. We know and we feel and we understand without actually seeing or touching, but the feel is so very, very, very present. And especially with water signs like yourself, Cancer. So I look forward to reading for you. And before I do go on, I just want to thank everybody who's watching the channel and returning, and those that have decided to subscribe and like and all that. It's beautiful and very supportive. And I do want to make a special thank you to Cancers, because my initial comeback, videos last month were mostly watched by you, and it was such a beautiful feeling. I don't even really know exactly why. I'm hoping it's just because you just really resonated, and that feeling brought you to a good place, because that is absolutely where I am coming from, where I really want to support everybody. I want to encourage, I want to influence you in all the ways that make you feel good and warm and fuzzy inside. I'm a longtime psychic, intuitive tarot reader, yes, but there's many other interests that I have in regards to the metaphysical aspects of life. And so, yes, thank you for that beautiful acknowledgement that you were vibing in some way, because that's so important, right? I want that for you. Now, you're not always going to necessarily resonate with the readings right off the bat, number one, because sometimes it takes a while to, the months flowing, and there's certain parts of it that you say, yeah, I get it. I sort of feel that, but not really. And remember your sun, moon, rising, Venus, and I would even include Mercury. I think Mercury is a very important aspect of all of the energies that affect us, or more personal planets, they call them. So if you feel so inclined and you want even more depth as to who you are, because we're way more than our sun sign, though it's extremely important, of course, and it does represent so much of who we are, personality, our interests, and the day we're born, and so forth. So, but thank you again. And so I'm going to be doing what I've started to do, and I will continue to do until something changes, which is very appropriate and most likely going to happen as I evolve and and get comments from you and whatnot. By the way, I don't know if my comment section, or however you want to word it, is working, because I'm not getting comments. I would love to, and I checked it. It looks as though it's on, but if you would be so kind and just maybe do a test, if nothing else, test comment, that would be great. And I'll see what I can do, because I'm not really savvy in technology, but I'm learning, and I'm going to do my best for you, okay? And I'm here to listen to what this community is interested in, and we can go from there, okay? And I can be as versatile as you would like for me to be. So we're going to do what I always like to do first, and that's going to be the chakra check for those that are new. And also I incorporate this wonderful gift that I got, and I'll explain that as we go. But first and foremost, chakra checks. So the chakras are the energy centers that are in our body, and they are working at all times, as we are all energy. And sometimes they get blocked, and sometimes they're very much in balance, and we can notably notice that, because we feel holistic. We feel one with ourselves, you know, we feel in balance, we feel good. Sometimes, and there are 8 chakras in total, starting from the base to the sacral, to the solar plexus, right below the belly button area right here, the heart, the throat, third eye, crown, and then upward for the all encompassing, you know, energy and chakra that relates to us all as a collective, and how we're all one and we're all connected in some form. So when these are out of balance a little bit, sometimes it'll affect us in ways. I like to use the throat chakra, which happens to be the first card, and which come up in a couple of the readings. I find that I'm not able to speak as loud, or there's some kind of a block of some sort. I like to do what the card suggests, and maybe sit for even as little as a couple of minutes, but as long as you would like, and focus on that particular area to release any blockages, to allow the openness to come through, to be seen, to be heard, and to feel once again holistic in your body, because it's never really one thing. It's a combination of so many put together. So let me just put this under the table for a minute, and I'll just do a little bit of a shuffle. It's not all that, you know, it's pretty simplistic, but I just don't know one day from the next. And Spirit will certainly want to let us know. And remember, it doesn't have to be anything that's going wrong. It could be just Spirit saying, hey, you know, this is the chakra I'd like to introduce or have you focus on for today, for whatever reason. So today, as I pull this up, I'm just going to pull it up really quick here. We have green. Oh, man, this is perfect. I love Spirit, and I'll be honest with you, you'll see it on camera, but of course I meditate first thing in the morning. I do bless the cards and ask for clear and concise messages, but, well, you can see right here, so it's pretty evident. The green represents the heart chakra. And, you know, with this time that I'm explaining that we're in, which is the season of Scorpio, there's so much love and passion and mystery and almost secretiveness, which can definitely be a part of that energy of a Scorpio. There's the transformation, there's the 8th house, you know, which is where Scorpio is known for, you know, representing it's life and death, rebirth, it's phoenix rising from the ashes, it's alchemy, you know, changing water to wine, all of the gifts that we have, all the manifestations we can imagine, and it has to do with other people. And that is in connection with relationships, which takes us back to the whole aspect of how we are being affected and will be for months still to come from the early eclipse in Libra that happened on the 2nd and 3rd of this month, because it's all about relationships. That's what Libra represents. We all have something we can bring to the table, as it were, and it helps to create the life and the people that we are and the friends that we choose. And we all have something to offer, and we're all spirits in a human form. The heart is such an important organ for all of us. It is absolutely the most intelligent, the most intuitive, which fits in beautifully for the water aspects of this reading. And I've known many cancers. I do have a rising in Pisces, which is water. So, as you grow older, and I am going to do a mini series as a sidebar here on the fundamental basic aspects of compatibility between signs. I studied that since I was 12, and I found out what sign I was because I got a poster that said Libra, and I'm like, well, that was it. That opened my life and my forever, which I didn't know at the time. And so I like to speak of the compatibility and how incredibly accurate it can be. So stay tuned for that. But the heart is really the most important thing for all of us. I mean, we all want love. We all want to give it, to receive it, to understand it. And so, the fourth chakra, as I mentioned, the fourth is stability too. It's that grounded kind of stable feeling. It's not the root chakra, which is the grounded. But let me read to you what it says. Divine love fills my heart. I hear the song of the universe, the one song that is mine to sing in this life. I am whole. I am healed. I receive and radiate loving kindness. There you go. That's the whole. If you were to take this, you want to take a snapshot and say this and speak it directly to your heart in your heart chakra center area here, it can do magic. It can absolutely transform your day, your life, your world. So I like to encourage people and to understand a little bit more about the chakras. So in connection with that, I got this beautiful gift. What it is a necklace that I have two different necklaces. This is the black. I have the brown right over there, depending on what I'm wearing. I immediately took out pink because, well, there's a couple of reasons, but pink to me is a very joyful color. It also represents, in my opinion, because of the crystals that I carry in my pocket daily that I wanted to share with you again. In addition to the message that comes in relation to the chakra, there's so many correlations here. Well, it's rose quartz. Rose quartz absolutely can bring and expand your love capacity. This actually looks like a heart to me, and I use it, as I said, daily when doing my massages and my readings. Here's a secondary one that could be as a necklace. I just have the actual crystal itself. And so, I thought, and I remembered that I had a friend that was a Cancer, and she's still alive. I just don't see her at this time, but she loved pink. So I purposely bought pink sheets for when we would do her massage. And it was, so in honor of her, it perks you up. They actually say colors are so important. Colors have a psychology behind them. They have an energy like everything. And I'm told that in certain circumstances, like certain jail rooms, they will purposely paint them pink to bring in the mood of tranquility and peace for a lot of the upset, hostile jail inmates, you can imagine. I digress. So this gift is a necklace that I wear during my readings now, and it has every one of the chakra crystals that are relevant for it by the color, in relation to the color. And so for you, of course, you have I believe it's green tourmaline. You can double check it here in a moment, but I'm going to set that inside. It looks to me like jade too, which I have in this pocket. I wear it every day. It is definitely a crystal that will bring good luck, but it also represents, a healing, certainly the heart, the ability to give and receive love. There's a variety of different meanings, and all of them are good. All of them are positive. So having them in your pocket or around you in some capacity, I don't think it would do you any harm. You might want to try it and see what you think and let me know. So I'll set this in here quickly for the reading because I think it'll add to the energy of the reading and the meanings behind what we will be shown by Spirit. So let's see here. Let me get this in here. It's not too difficult, but just getting it open properly. Maybe opening it just like that. Okay, so I set this in here and would do it ahead of time, but didn't really know exactly what would come up for you. So we do it right in front. I don't do a lot of editing. What you see is what you get. Oh boy. I mean, I've fallen off tables. I do all sorts of things. It's kind of a, I hope that's not why I got a lot of video watches. Well, either way, let's go in here. Excuse me, and look for this. Oh, I see it right away. The green representing the heart chakra. Trust, compassion, and healing. Green avatine is what this is. Avatine. I attract abundance by holding a deep love and trust for myself and the universe. You know, I could do an entire video on the self-love thing, which I was not so great at for a very large portion of my life. I loved other people. I loved my children and everything. And then I realized more recently oh, look at my little buddy over here. My sweet little cat's putting his paw on the 4th chakra. I don't know if you caught that. Anyway, I love you, Eclipse. His name is Eclipse. You may see him periodically jumping around in the background or something. Self-love it's at first you're like, yeah, I love myself. Do you really? Do you really, really, really love yourself? Do you talk kindly to yourself? Do you treat yourself? Do you put yourself before others and not feel like, oh my gosh, I'm so selfish. How can I do that? Which I did. I did it for years. I thought in that way. I mean, and I get it. But the reality is that when you're treating yourself like the queen or king that you deserve to be treated, then you fully understand how to treat others like that. It just makes so much sense. And it actually starts happening more and more. And it's a beautiful experience. It's a beautiful epiphany. It certainly has been for me. And it's only getting better. So I really want to share that with you. But yes, Cancers, you're incredibly devoted. You're the nurturing sign. You're ruled by the moon. You have great gifts. I mean, you understand and you feel, like I said, you have dreams that are very prophetic at times. There's so much I can say about you, but I would like to do the reading, and I do need to get through them, so let's get started. I'm doing a little different layout. I did the Celtic Cross, and I'll come back to it. This will make the readings a little bit shorter, but not any less important, okay? And I have absolutely shuffled these over and over again, so making sure they're the right direction. I am using, this month, because I'll be changing the decks, the Intuitive Goddess deck, and it is right here, the Intuitive Knight. I forget to say that. It's a beautiful deck. I've had it for a while, but I only really started using it in the past couple of years. So I do in-person readings. If you're interested, please let me know. You can check the link below, and I'm still working on that. I'd like to have an entirely separate webpage for the readings, but to simplify it, I mean, you could text me and we could definitely converse, okay, and discuss it. It's not too difficult, and I plan on doing only readings when I'm no longer working in the next, it'll be about 2 years, but I do them now in between and in betwixt. So I'm being asked to shuffle again. The layout today will be, and I'll explain as I say it, is going to be first card, overall energy, and I'll lay that down. The second card will be the love card, and that's love of all forms, you know, relationships, of course, in all categories. Very prominent, as I mentioned, more so than usual with these eclipses that occurred, and predominantly because of Libra, and notably known for relationships. Then we have money, career, value. Then we go to the possible outcome, and then I have a wild card, which I really like because it can culminate the reading, or it can be something completely off on its own that Spirit's absolutely wanting me to be aware of. And I'm going to finish with an oracle message for you as well. So let us see how we're doing here. I think that's it. I'm going to say overall energy means just that, kind of how you've been feeling, maybe leading into the month of November. Powerful energies having to do with, like I said, relationships. Oh, I knew I forgot something. Mars has been in your sign, Cancer, and Mars, oh my goodness, Mars is the activator. Mars is the warrior planet. Mars is the aggressive. The Aries represents Mars, as does Scorpio. I believe Scorpio has Pluto now more modernly, but from the beginning, historically, both Aries and Scorpio are ruled by Mars. So you see, you've got that sensitivity of water, but you've got that intensity mixed together. So it can be fantastic. It can be life-altering, and it can be a little bit more aggressive than you might want. It just depends on the circumstance. And Mars has been in Cancer since, I want to say the beginning of, I don't remember the exact date, maybe the 4th of September, but it's going to be there for a very long extended stay, because it goes into Leo and then it retrogrades and then it comes back into your sign, I believe, Cancer, in February, and it's there through April. Amazing. Now, having the Pisces rising I mentioned to you, oh my gosh, my energy levels have changed so much. I've been so much busier, and that's great. And you may understand exactly what I'm speaking of, but all I can say, and I hope this reading will convey it as well, because these are messages that I'm getting right now as I speak to you, is being very careful in keeping that balance, which is also a Libra influence, okay, and making sure you're not overdoing it in any way, whether it be eating or drinking or anything that's to an excess could create some, just disorder within your body. Overall energy, 8 of Cups. Wow, there you are. There's the 8, the power number. We are in an 8 year. Are we ever? So many things, so many changes that people have told me about in my readings that I do, and the things that I'm seeing for myself, my own personal life. Perhaps you can fully relate to this. The 8 is beautiful because the 9 is the wishes fulfilled. The 10 is the optimal, the happy family, happy love, happy fulfillment, happy creativity, just everything you can imagine. The 8 is moving away from the emotional things that have really, really caused you to rethink and to understand that you're not in that place anymore. You're ready to move on. You're ready to change. You're ready to make the move. A lot of times it could be a breakup. It could be a move. It could be also just a change of your emotional makeup, what your thoughts have been, what your belief patterns have been. I fully understand when this happens, and sometimes it just comes so unexpectedly. That's what eclipses does, that's what they do. They can change something in a heartbeat. And it's always going to be for your best interest and your highest good. So just know that. So for a lot of you, there's been a change. You are actually moving perhaps, but you're moving in a direction that's going to be far more suited, and it's going to fulfill you way more. You're heading for that 9th cup, okay? You're on your way. You know what you want. You're turning your back to stuff that it isn't happening anymore. And that's okay. That's what life's about. We do change. We do grow. We do, rise above. The second card does have to do with love. So let's see if this has to do with perhaps a relationship. This is a storyline after all. You have the Queen of Swords. Well, there's the air element. There's the Libra and the effects of the eclipse. Now, the eclipses were in Aries and Libra for the last 12 months, and it'll be the last eclipse in Aries will happen in March. We had a little preview of the next set of series of eclipses, which is Pisces and Virgo. And that starts in January of 2025. If you look at my beautiful little astrology here, we've got Libra and Aries, as I mentioned, although Aries was the north node, which is our forward movement, and Libra was the south, which is when we tend to let go of some of our habits and our personality traits or things or people, hence the Eight of Cups. The Pisces is right here in the Virgo being the polar opposite, which is how the eclipses will always work, by the way. It's always going to be that polar opposition, which is always very much a part of us. It's like a magnet is the simplest way to describe it. You know, there's that pull and push that happens, and it's what attracts us to people a lot of times. We can learn and grow so much from people that aren't exactly like us. Pisces is one of the most spiritual signs. They're incredibly sensitive and watery, and you know, they're water elements, but they're mutable and they're open and they're adaptive. They don't really have boundaries. They love to consider everything, go with the flow. Life is beautiful, very positive, Jupiter ruled. Virgo is just the opposite. They're grounded. They're you know, very structured. They're very plan oriented. They have boundaries. They super dedicated, just, you know, very much about their mind. They're ruled by Mercury. So that's kind of where we're coming into. And here you're being shown, certainly Scorpio season aspects, your own element of water. Then you're realizing that this Queen of Swords has some things you've needed to learn, and you are. It's pretty straightforward with the air. They tend to be a little more detached. You've got the butterflies designating transformation. I know it's already been happening, and it will, and it's happened, like I said, through the last 12 months and continue on. Transformations don't always happen overnight. I believe it's exactly what you want, that you've been manifesting for yourself. It's about truth and justice. It could have to do with court cases, and it would be a positive outcome. I think that you could be involved with somebody that has the qualities of a sword, which would be the Aquarius, Libra, and Gemini. Gemini, Jupiter, the benevolent planet, the most, you know, the expansive and powerful and loving, and just it's a giving planet. It comes in our sign every 12 years. It's in the sign of Jupiter. It is in retrograde, but it still has its power, and that's very complementary to other air elements, as I mentioned, Libra and Aquarius. So maybe you have that in your sign or your personal chart, which you can look up very easily and quickly and freely with Cafe Astrology or Astrodance. Those are the two I always recommend. Some very important conversations are happening, Cancer, and it's leading you in this direction, okay? You can see your back is turned. So whatever you've heard or will be hearing still, I haven't mentioned, and I apologize, it's so important, but the new moon is happening. I always love to mention the astrological moon aspects, if nothing else. I'm an inspiring astrologist, and I love looking at the planets at night. They are so much a part of who we are, and they are so much affecting us every day, whether we realize it or not. And the new moon in Scorpio is exactly that. It's new beginnings, it's intensity, it's change, it's digging deep. Digging deep. It's not always pretty. It's not always great to see and recognize some things that you know or just aren't right, or you need to change about yourself, or you want to see in someone else. All of this is relative to the meaning here, though. And it's perfect. And so write down those intentions of what you want to see change, Cancer, and they will absolutely surprise you. And I don't know what'll happen in exactly the way you want. You just want to say what you imagine and what you believe to be the case, and see what Spirit and the world and the universe will do in your favor, because they're usually always, not usually, they are always working in our favor, okay? It is us that has to actually put forth effort as well. Well, I'm moving along to your financial card. And this is the Monarch. Whoa, well, I see I strength. My goodness. So it's a major arcana. It has the lion there, so that's representing Leo. And it's interesting because Mars will then go from Cancer to Leo. Of course, Leo is a fire sign, and you know, the Aries eclipse also still has influence on us in being great leaders and having that strength and using our solar plexus and meditating on that area so that you can, and chakra, so that you can bring out the most self-confidence that you ever have. Excuse me one moment. I'm going to double check for sure and make sure that the monarch is, in fact, what I said. So let's see here. And that would be strength. Because we all have strength, but sometimes I don't think we give each other, it's actually 4. Okay, let's see here. I don't think we give each other nearly enough credit for the strength that we really do have. It just, I'm wrong, but it's close enough. It's the Emperor, and that's strength, and that's Aries, and that's everything we were saying. So you got both of the astrological signs that have to do with the eclipses and what we've been going through. Can't make this stuff up, but you're being shown that this has been very, very influential with you. And you know what else makes it very synchronistic and very realistic, as far as I'm concerned, is that both all, the Emperor, meaning Aries, the swords, meaning Libra, Cancer, and the cups, you're all cardinal. And there's a huge cardinal cross happening. It's so strong. It's so vibrant. Each one representing and bringing in a new season. Cancer, you bring in summer. Libra brings in fall. And spring is, of course, Emperor, Aries. And the beginning and the new. And I am in charge. And it's me. And I want this. And I'm not going to hold back. Yes, Libra is about we and us. And we can work together. And I see all sides. And I want to be fair. And but it's so evident to me that a lot of these changes, and I have to bring this up again, on both of these with the butterflies, that's absolutely a sign of transformation. So it's been happening. It can take a while, but you're feeling good about it. You're feeling strong and you're ready. And that's in your work, that's in your finances, you're making a number, you're putting it down, you're writing it down, certainly for this new moon of intensity and incredible manifestational possibilities. Remember, the veil is also thinner at this time, and it's the latter part of October. You have, Halloween celebrated. Day of the Dead. It's real stuff here, and it's been going on for thousands of years. Then we move on to your possible outcome. The Wayfarer, the Lovers. Well, of course it would come in for your reading, right? Because it's the heart. You have great love and compassion for others, and you want that in return, Cancer. You're very capable of giving, and you do a lot, and sometimes probably way more than you are receiving it, I would say. It's coming in pretty strong. But it's okay, like when it comes to family and children and home, that's your domain. That's what you love so much. It's what makes you feel whole. And yet it's important that you do allow time for yourself and a relationship. And if you're in one, it could improve. This whole thing with the, Libra and Aries, this polar opposites, has been about relationships. It's working through the hardest stuff and getting to the other side and saying, wow, if we got through that, we can get through anything. Love is that powerful and strong when you have that intention and you want it enough. So that's really beautiful. Let me double check for sure, because I don't want to lead you astray. As I said, I've used these and I really love them. I hope you do as well. Let me know. But what is that number? It's 6. Yeah, I'm sure it's Lovers. 6 is representation of, I'll say that again. 6 represents Venus, the planet of Venus, which is definitely about love, and the ruler of Libra, as well as Taurus. And by the way, we're having a full moon in Taurus at the end of November. And so there you go. It's all just so beautifully working together. And so, yes, the Lovers. The Wayfarer. A goddess ventures alone on her journey and comes to a crossroads. Each path is illuminated by 6 candles, totaling 12 in reference to the astrological houses. A wayfarer is a journeyer, often a fool, and in this means you're on a path where it's okay to go on your own pace, at your own pace, and so on and so forth. So, yeah, there's love. There's a lot of love here, and I hope it's definitely love of self too. It's so important for a lot of us readers and people watching. Then the final card is going to be your wild card. So let's see how it ties in with everything. This is fantastic. Your ships are coming in. You've got the 3. This is about growth. This is about mastery. It's about obtaining the very thing that you've been praying for, manifesting your intentions, everything coming into full focus. You can feel it and taste it. You've got the energy. You've got the fire in you. You know, water and fire makes some pretty spicy, beautiful, you know, steamy kind of energy, right? On a very basic biological reference. But 3 is definitely the number for growth. And I can see that happening very much in this reading. I hope that's happening in your life. And even if it seems like it's a small change, those small change then leads to another and another, and it's before you know it, you're exactly where you were wanting to be, as long as you're being patient as well. And I was just told to tell you that. So let me finish, if I may, with your last card, which is the oracle message. Have to have the oracles in there. They're so incredibly divine and filled with wisdom, and they're here to love and protect and support us as well. So once again, this is the Psychic Tarot for the Heart deck. Had to be the heart, right? So anyway, your card for the remainder of the reading, thank you again for your time and being here, is Believe and Succeed. Woo! Guess what? I pulled 2. Well, that's an omen right there. Choose your battles. Okay, well, I like that too, because there's the yin and yang, right? There's the beauty of life in all aspects, you know, believe and achieve and succeed. Of course, what we believe is what we will achieve. It is 6, which has come up once. Well, it certainly just came up. So that's about the Lovers. You can put the 2 and 2 together there. But choose your battles is really important, because the Mars influence is no joke right now, and there's a lot of that happening. I didn't go into detail about it. But Mars can be incredible in helping us and giving us that energy I spoke of, and sometimes almost too much, so make sure that you ground yourself. There's going to be a lot more aggression kind of energy happening in November due to the election. I'll just put it out there. But, you know, it's something that happens every 4 years. It'll turn out to be exactly as it needs to be. That's about all I will explain about that, other than to say, please don't involve yourself or get yourself into circumstances you don't really mean to, because the energy is going to be heightened for the reasons of that nature I mentioned. You're in good hands. You're loved. I certainly appreciate you, and thank you for your time. Couldn't do it without you. Have a beautiful, beautiful November. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving for those who do celebrate that. And come on back. I'll be here in December. Until then, bye for now.